Hello and welcome to another episode of Podfulness. Let's get started.
When I was a kid, it seemed like every product on television had a jingle to it. I mean, there are jingles today, like this one.
FBK, have it your way.
Yeah, you got to admit that's pretty catchy. But back in the 70s and 80s, banks had jingles. Supermarkets, restaurants, even clothing stores had jingles.
Fall into the gap.
Cereals, soda, candy bars. Candy bar jingles were the best.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
But today, you don't really hear a lot of jingles anymore, at least jingles with words, except for one industry. There's one industry that continues to live in our brains with their musical earworms, and that is insurance companies. You know the words to that song, and I didn't even have to play them. You just heard that little jingle, and you knew exactly what it was. Or perhaps this insurance company.
Nationwide is on your side.
And even this one, when it comes on TV, you still sing along.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
But there's one that is my favorite, and I know it's your favorite too. Are you ready for it? Here it comes.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
So there's no real point to opening the show with this. I just think it's about time large companies got into the studio and created some killer commercial jingles because, quite frankly, you, the consumers, deserve it. You do rule. Are you ready for Podfulness? Let's get to it. Today on Podfulness, my guest is Allie G. Now, if you are a fan of Sacha Baron Cohen, it's not that Allie G. This is a different Allie G. This Allie G is a junior in high school, and she is a friend of a friend. And what I mean by that is on episode 3 of this season, we had Paige come on the show, and Allie is Paige's friend. So it's a friend of a friend. That is the first time that has happened on Podfulness. So it's a very exciting moment for us here. So why don't you sit back, relax, and get to know a brand new teenager. She's a lot of fun. She's bubbly. She's got a great personality, and she knows a lot about pop culture. And here she is, Allie. Well, hello, Allie. How you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for coming on my podcast. Are you a big fan? Do you listen to every single episode and then rewatch and then rewatch?
I've watched a lot of my friends' episodes.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, Allie, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Allie G. I am currently a junior and I do dance. I really like to paint and do like canvas artwork and stuff.
Oh, no kidding.
And yep. And then I'm the marketing manager with my friend Paige, who is on another one of your episodes for her
That's
crochet
right.
club.
Oh, that's right. The two of you do crochet together, which I think is so fantastic. So tell me about dancing. How long have you been dancing?
I've been dancing since I was 3. So when I started, I began with like ballet and hip hop, and now I like to do jazz and contemporary a lot more. So that's usually what I do.
So you're a dancer, but also you're an artist. So what sort of paintings do you like to paint?
I like to do really like realistic ones that have like different tones. So like I painted a picture for my mom for her birthday, and it was like of her. And I, instead of like making it perfect kind of, I decided to like have the different tones, like totally different colors. So like the cheekbones parts were more like pink, and then
Okay.
her nose was like blue. And so like kind of abstract, but still like in the range of like natural colors.
Do you have an all-time favorite artist?
I honestly think my all-time favorite artist is probably Van Gogh, just because I find his work like really calming and stuff.
Really? Okay. So tell me a little bit more about your home life. You have siblings?
No, I'm an only child.
What do you think your life would be like if you had a little brother or sister? Do you think it'd be better, worse, or it's just hard to say?
I don't think I would want a little sibling. I would want an older sibling, but also like I wouldn't like it as much just because like I wouldn't get as many things that I want. Like Christmas, I would have less gifts, and then like birthdays would be less. So I like being an only child. It would just be cool to have someone older than me to like learn from, or like that could drive me around somewhere.
Right. So if you don't have those sort of sibling rivalries, what is the biggest stressor for you being an only child?
The biggest stressor is probably just like when I disagree with my parents, I don't have anybody else that like agrees with me because they're
Uh-huh.
gonna agree with each other, and then it's just me. So it feels like it's two against one.
Right. What was the you don't have to answer this, but what was the last big argument you got into with your parents? What was it about?
I think the last big argument we got in was like, oh, I had not cleaned my room, and like my mom was like, before we go for Christmas, you have to clean your room. And I had not done it. Like I'm a procrastinator, so I would usually wait till like the day of, and then I knock it out really good. So my
Okay.
point of view is like, if I get it done, why does it matter? As long as it's done by when you said to have it done. And she's like, but you shouldn't be procrastinating. And my dad's just like, just do it.
Yeah. It's as a parent, when my kid's room is messy, it does bother me. And why should it, right? It's my kid's room. But our worry is that we know that when you're messy, you lose track of things. You can't remember where you put things. But are you pretty good at knowing exactly where everything is, no matter how messy the room might be?
Oh yeah, I know where it is. And then also to me, I feel like it's not as messy because I'll just have like my pillows all over the place. So it's not that messy. It's just pillows or like
Uh-huh.
my makeup will be all over my desk. So
Allie, how many pillows do you have in your room?
I love like squishmallows, those really squishy like characters. So
Sure.
I have a lot of those. And then I
Uh-huh.
have like all my Christmas pillows. And then I like to sleep on these huge like bamboo memory foam pillows. And so they take up a lot of space because they're big themselves. And I have like three.
When you travel, do you take a pillow with you on the plane?
If I could, yeah.
Oh, what do you mean
They're
you can't?
usually too, well,
Oh,
usually they're
yeah.
too big. They don't allow me to bring it because one time I tried to bring it and TSA confiscated it. So I had to get a new one.
Well, because it was like the size of another passenger? Like, why did they confiscate it? Did you have it
I
stuffed with
don't even
illegal
know.
stuff?
No, but they might have thought so maybe because like it's very hard, like because it has like bamboo fibers in it, so it's really hard. So maybe they thought something else was in there, and I wasn't gonna let them cut it open, and so they were like, "Fine, we'll just take it."
Yeah, I could see where they think it was dangerous to other passengers. Tell me a little bit about high school. What's the high school experience for you? What's the positive and what is the negative?
So I really like high school, honestly. Like I've always wanted to like be in high school and just recently, like especially this junior year, I feel like high school has definitely felt like how the movies portray it to be, like the
Oh,
parties and then like all the fun events and stuff like that. The only thing I don't like is like it just gets very monotonous, like the
hmm
constant wake up, go to school, then like go to school for 8 hours. You eat the same lunch at the same amount of time, and then you go home
hmm
and you do homework and you do the same thing. So it just gets like very constant.
So the routine. Is there a teacher, and you don't have to say the teacher's name, but maybe the subject that you don't feel that teacher is able to keep things a little bit fresh week after week?
Oh, yes. So my Spanish 4X teacher right now, I like love her so much. Like I just am obsessed like with the way she runs class and everything. And she's so funny. And because I student help for her for like my study hall period, we're like
Okay.
pretty close since
Yeah.
I see her more than once a day. But I feel like it's always been like that with all my Spanish teachers because even my one from last year, her and I are pretty close.
Do you, it's been a while since I've been in high school, of course, but with social media, do you follow any of your teachers? Do your teachers follow you, or is that a line that you guys just don't cross?
I follow like their teacher accounts, but they don't follow me back.
Okay, so no personal pages. So you're not seeing your Spanish teacher on the weekend playing sand volleyball somewhere with, with their friends or
No.
anything like that. What about the future? Do you think you'll be an artist when you graduate from high school? Are you going to go study art somewhere?
No, I don't think I would enjoy actually making art like my job because I just kind of paint when I want to, and then I could go like months without painting. So I would
Okay.
not want it to be my job.
Yeah.
But I do want to go into like marketing, so I still want to do something like on the creative side. I'm
Okay.
really interested in social media marketing right now, so that's
Okay.
kind of what I've been doing for like Crochet Club as well. So it just showed me that I really do like it.
So when you think about products that are out there, what product has really good marketing?
The Ulta like beauty company, I got a gift card. My cousin gave me a gift card, and when you like pull it, it pulls out into a full size lipstick. And it's like a cardboard lipstick, but it kind of just like folds out into one. And
Okay.
I thought that was pretty good because it makes people want to buy that specific card. And also that card requires you to put like I think at least $50 on it. So it's like people will want to buy that card because it's interesting and then they're paying more money for it.
Ah, and do you think you're more likely to buy lipstick because it was in that shape? Because Ulta sells a
Possibly, yeah,
lot
I
of
would
different
look
products,
into right. I would look into some of the product like lip products they have.
right? Is there any product or company that you think, oh boy, their marketing needs some help?
Um,
They're not listening, so it's okay
oh,
if you share it.
I would think probably GoDaddy. GoDaddy needs some marketing help because when they did like their Super Bowl campaigns, they had a lot of like issues with those because they
Hmm.
were either like very like they were offensive to either a large political group or they would just like be offensive to like women and like like the tech people in general. So they definitely need some help.
Okay, interesting. Okay, maybe they're listening and they'll take you up on that. I know your role models in your life, your grandma, and then you said Michelle Obama. So,
Yeah.
if the two of them were to meet, what question do you think your grandma would ask Michelle first?
I think my grandma would probably ask like what it's like being the wife of like the president. So I'm sure she'd be like, "Girl, how did you deal with the president?" Like,
Gosh, can you imagine the stress of that? And you see every president when they come out, they look older than when they went in, like 30
yeah.
years older. That job ages you. I also asked you on that questionnaire what three people, dead or alive, you would want to have dinner with. And Michelle was not on that list, nor was your grandma, but you said Oprah, which would be great. You said Michael Jackson, which would be fascinating. And then do you remember who the third person is that you said?
Um,
Kim
I think oh
Kardashian.
yeah, Kim Kardashian.
Okay, so did you grow up watching the Kardashians? Is that safe to say that their show's been on your
No.
whole life? No?
Okay, so I love the Kardashians. My mom hates the Kardashians. Like
Yeah.
she does not like them. Like she's just like it's so overrated. Like they're just normal people and I'm like, but they're not. Like they're icons. Like I just love the Kardashians so much.
So what is it about Kim? Because you've got, your pick of the litter. There are lots of different Kardashians mixed in there. Why Kim?
I think just because she kind of is like the ringleader of her family, like she kind of pulls them all together. And I just love also like specifically the way she influences people with her brands. And I love her products too. Like I got a few of her like Skims sets and they're actually really good. And she does not like charge that much for them. And because she's Kim Kardashian, she really could if she wanted to. So I love that about her. And I think she's like so cool. Like I love the way she dresses and how
Uh,
she just is like really calm. But I also love Chloe and Kylie. They're also some of my
uh,
favorites. But I think I would get the most out of a dinner with Kim.
well, I think it's great. Out of everyone that's ever been alive in history, and it's Kim Kardashian coming to dinner. Where would you go? Would you go out to a restaurant or would you have them over?
Oh, we'd definitely be going to a restaurant.
Yeah.
I would probably go to like that one of those like really bougie restaurants in LA with her or something because that would just be really cool.
Yeah. Because, yeah, she probably needs you to come to her, probably. I'm sure she'd pay for your
Yeah.
flight. Are you okay with first class?
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
fine with first class.
That's what I thought. All right. So, Allie, this is your chance right now to ask me anything. So, every guest that comes on the show, teenagers, if you're curious about something that has to do with being an adult or parenting, no matter how silly or serious, what question do you have for me? And I will try to answer it on behalf of all adults out there.
I think the question I would have for you is why did you want to start a podcast?
Well, let me ask you, why do you think I want to start a podcast? What do you
I
think
think you
I would
wanted
get
to
out of it?
start it because um you wanted to like open people's minds and like inform them on a lot of point of views that they may not already know.
You know what? That's kind of true. So I started the podcast just because I wanted to be able to learn about new podcasts out there. But then for this season for teenagers, I want adults to be able to see what teens are like. Because adults, when they watch just the news, it's only going to be the negative. you're only going to hear about the bad things that teenagers are doing, that all teens are vaping, that all teens are skipping class and getting bad grades, that all kids are cheating. And that's just not true. And so I just wanted adults to be able to see that teenagers, just like when adults were young, teenagers are still fun loving and have different interests and varied interests, and they're fun to talk to. So that's what I get out of it. I love talking to my son's friends. And so I thought I would just expand and meet lots of other teenagers. So that's it. Just a chance to talk with and meet new people. And who knows, you might go on and start a new company and I might be looking for a job. And then I can say, hey, Allie, remember when you came on my show? Will you hire me?
Oh yeah, I would definitely hire you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Allie. All right. So we are going to move on. I want to talk about some of the things that you're watching and consuming. Is that okay?
Yep.
Allie, let's talk a little bit about the types of things that you consume. So first, books. You said your favorite book is The Giver, right?
Yes.
Now, The Giver, I know I don't think it's mandatory reading, but a lot of schools have their students read that book. What was it about that book that you connected with?
Well, I was required to read the book at first, and I thought it was so weird and boring. But thankfully, my school allowed us to, keep the books. So I reread it later on, and I actually really like it. I think that it touches on a lot of things that aren't like explicitly said in the book. But
Mhm.
as you like continue through life, you kind of realize what they were alluding to. And I actually got the opportunity now in high school, I believe last year, to be in the play for The Giver.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was
Okay.
really interesting to, yeah, to be able to act it out.
Yeah, it was one of those books when my son read it, I read it at the same time. Because most of the books that kids have to read in middle and high school, I'm not interested in reading, but this one was. And I thought it was timely too. I think that it's definitely a book that that is relevant today for sure. So, all right. So, The Giver on TV, you said your favorite show is The Office. Which character do you relate to the most?
The character I relate to the most is probably Pam, but my favorite character is Dwight.
Of course, it's Dwight. Dwight is one of the greatest characters on television, isn't he? Do you ever just channel surf? So something when I was a kid, because we didn't have on-demand television the way we do now, I would just flip through the channels. Is that something you do at all?
Not really. Honestly, if
No.
I can't find anything to watch, I'll just go to YouTube and watch like YouTube on there.
That's right. So nobody flips through the channels. Do you ever watch like the local news or the national news?
I watch the national. I rarely watch the local news. I just ask my Alexa what the weather is.
Do you do you ever walk in on your mom and dad while they're watching the news?
Oh, yes.
Like local news though, like watching local weather and local sports?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every single morning, every single night.
Yeah, I'm so curious to know in 20, 30 years if local news is going to be totally gone because you're not going to be watching it because you don't watch it now, right? So,
Yeah, I do really like CNN though, but nope.
okay. So what is your favorite movie or some of your favorite movies?
My favorite movie is Avatar. It's
Okay.
just so cool. Like the one with the blue people.
Yeah, that world that James Cameron created was pretty awesome. Yeah. Did you see the
Yep,
sequel?
it's really amazing. Yes, I went to go see it with Paige actually, and it was so good. Like it was actually worth the wait. A lot of movies that take that long, they are not worth it, but that one really was.
Yeah, they took a while to create that. So, all right. So you like big blue people. That's interesting. Music wise, your favorite artist is
SZA.
SZA. I don't know anything about SZA, and it seems like she's huge with teenagers. I know she's American. I know she's female. I think she's in her 30s, but why is she so popular?
She's just so amazing. Like I love her almost as much as I love Kim Kardashian.
Interesting. Okay. Do you think they're
Her
friends?
music is just really vibey. I think they could be friends, but I don't think they run in the same circles.
Okay. And have you seen her in concert?
No, I was so sad. I was supposed to go with my friend to see her, and then she said she couldn't go, and then she went without me with her mom.
She took her mom? Have you forgiven this
Yep,
friend?
she went with her mom. No, no, I'm joking. I forgive her.
Okay. But what's your favorite SZA song? Because
I think my favorite
I'm gonna
song.
write it down and I'm gonna go check it out as soon as we log off here.
Okay, I think either Broken Clocks or Low from her new album
Okay.
because it's like a really good. I love it for dancing when I'm trying to like do some hip hop dances. I just
Sure.
choreographed for my last studio and we danced to that. So
Okay.
I really like it.
All right. I will check those two songs out. You spend 4 to 6 hours online. I know that's not just spent watching The Office, and I know that's not just listening to SZA. So, which is your go-to social media app?
TikTok.
TikTok. Do you create any videos for TikTok, or are you just there to watch?
I do make TikTok videos. I like to make the get ready with me's. They're kind of embarrassing, but like some of my friends hype me up on them, and then some people laugh at me, but it's fine. They're
All
fun. So,
right. So, hold on. You just said something that maybe many people in the audience might not understand. Get ready with me videos. What are those?
yeah. So like if I'm going to the mall or something, I'll say like, get ready with me to go to the mall, and then I'll do like all my skincare and then like my makeup and stuff. And it's just like I'll just talk about whatever, honestly. I'll talk about like my plans or like how my last week was. It's basically just like chit chat, kind of how
Okay.
they used to do on YouTube, but it's in shorter form content.
But did you come up with that idea to get ready with me?
No,
Oh
it's
no.
like a huge
Oh,
thing.
that's a
Like a
thing.
lot
Okay.
of people.
So that's a trend. Well, are there any challenges that happen that you think people are doing just because everybody else is doing it? And do you ever fall into that
Mm,
category?
Well, I do remember the cinnamon challenge from like years ago that a lot of people were doing it just because others, and it's when you take like a spoonful of cinnamon in your mouth,
Oh
which is like
God.
super dry, and people were choking on it and like coughing
Sure.
it out. And it was like funny videos. Like I used to watch them when I was younger because they were pretty funny how people
Yeah.
would react. But then some people sadly like passed away from it because the cinnamon's like really dry, and it was supposed to be like a whole like huge spoonful and you just put it in your mouth.
And so did people post the videos of them doing it as well? And people would watch them choke and see how comfortable it was, but yet people still wanted to try it.
Yeah, people basically, I think they wanted to see if maybe it wasn't that bad or if they could do it, or they just thought like it was funny. So this would be funny if I did it and it would get them a lot of like likes on Musically at the time.
Right. What about the Tide Pod challenge? Does that kind of fall into that same category? Did that start on TikTok?
Is that when you eat the Tide Pod?
Yeah, so you have the Tide Pods and people would put it in their mouth and then it would just sit in there and then it would explode. And of course they would spit it up and choke and all of that.
Oh, I didn't, I never even watched that trend, but that just also sounds really dumb.
It's just it's disturbing, isn't it? Do you follow people on TikTok? Do you have favorite TikTokers?
hmm
And who is the first one that comes to mind?
I think one of my favorite TikTokers, her TikTok name is just Lisi, like Lisi. That's just her name. But
Okay.
she does like kind of like the get ready with me thing, but she films like her entire day. And I don't know how she does it in such a short amount of time, but like she does it from when she wakes up in the morning to doing her makeup, walking her dog, and she does it till she eats dinner at night.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So
she
the
has a lot
people
of followers though.
but let's say you follow a bunch of you said Lisi, right?
hmm
Let's say you follow 10 or 12 people like Lisi. No wonder you need to be on your phone 4 to 6 hours because you're watching their lives. But are their lives exciting or is it just the idea that you're watching somebody else doing things and you're getting to know them?
Well, hers is only about 60 seconds long. Since it's on TikTok,
Okay.
it's like very
Okay.
short form.
Right.
So at most, her videos will be 3 minutes. But at the same time, she's like really, really positive and she does like fun socks and stuff. So she'll be like, okay, guys, let's put on my fun socks. And so she's just like really positive. So it's cool to see how just going through her normal day, she's always really like happy and smiley. And of
Yeah.
course, you're only seeing like 3 minutes of her life. So she may not be like that all the time. But I have a good feeling she kind of is just because she records her life
Yeah.
every single
Sure.
day.
And is it more females doing TikTok videos than males? Or is it still just as big with
I would
guys?
say like I think it's just as big with guys, but the guys either post about their sports or like they do this thing called thirst traps where
Uh-huh.
it's like they try to like look hot, I guess, in videos and get a bunch of likes on it. Whereas most girls we do like if you went to Target, you show all the stuff that you bought or like get ready with me's, or just like cutesy little videos or like dances with your friends.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's definitely more girls that post on TikTok, but guys and girls both have it.
Well, and I'm curious, how do you feel when a video you post gets, let's say, 1,000? I don't even know what a lot is on TikTok, 10,000 likes or views. How does that make you feel? Does that make you feel good?
I would be screaming. I would definitely be really happy because that means that like I'm interesting and people like what I post or
Yeah.
whatever. But also it's just like really cool when a lot of people see it because like I'll usually get like maybe like 25, 40 likes on a video. And or like when I do some with my friends, I'll get 186. I think that's
Hmm.
the most I've gotten. But then you see the view count at the bottom and it shows you like maybe 2,000 people watch this, but only 186 liked it.
Right.
So it's really cool when you see that there's the same amount of views as there is of the people that like it.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating to think that so much of what we do, we're doing it because we want people to like it. And if they don't like it, do you feel rejected at all?
No, not really. It's just like I wonder sometimes like why didn't you like it? Especially when it's like the like I'll see that some of the people I know or like people that are kind of like associates to me, I
Hmm.
can see who watches it. So I'll see if they watched it and they didn't like it. I'm just like, why not? Like what was wrong with
Well, you've given me a good lesson on TikTok. It's such an
it?
interesting world. So what I want to do is I'm going to change gears and we're going to move to a game. We're going to play a game. And you mentioned Paige's name earlier. Paige was episode 3 of this season. And since you two are buddies, I'm going to play the same game with you that I played with her. Allie, you seem to know a lot about pop culture. You like movies. And so we're going to play a game right now. And this game is called Top 10. And this is how it works. I'm going to ask you a very simple question, and you have to give me 10 answers. And I'm going to see how many of your answers are correct and match the actual top 10 list. And this is what I'm looking
Okay.
for. What are the top 10 highest grossing movies of all time? Which movies have made the most money at the box office? And so I'm going
Oh
to keep
gosh.
track of your list. Okay. So what do you think when you think of highest grossing movie? What's the first one that pops into your head?
Um, maybe Black Panther?
Black Panther. I'm going to write down Black Panther. Okay. Little Marvel action. All right. 9 more movies. And then we're going to compare your list to the actual list.
Okay.
And so people that are listening
Avatar.
and watching at home, oh, Avatar, they can play along as well. Avatar. Gotcha.
Um,
And I will tell you,
oh,
all of these movies have been released. Let me think. Let me look at this list. Except for maybe one, all of these movies happened during your lifetime. And that
okay.
makes sense, right? Because back in the 1950s, movies were like 5 cents. So, and now
Yeah.
it's, I think, like $50 to go see a movie. So we've got Black Panther, Avatar. What other movies do you think made a ton of bank at the box office?
Um, Definitely the Barbie movie.
Barbie. Okay. Put that
Probably
one down.
Endgame. That was a pretty big one.
Endgame. Avengers Endgame. Okay. Looking
Oh,
at,
Fast and the Furious.
okay. Fast and Furious. Any particular one?
Um,
Because weren't there like
Maybe
10 of them?
4.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never watched any of them.
I haven't either, but that's an excellent guess. All right. We
Um,
need 5 more movies that you think made a lot of money at the box office.
okay. Uh, Don't Worry, Darling.
Don't Worry, Darling. Was that with Harry
That was
Styles?
with yes, Harry Styles. Yep.
Don't Worry, Darling. Okay. What else?
Maybe oh, this is really
I know
hard.
it's hard. Can you think of a Disney movie that you think made a ton of money?
Oh, the newest Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid. All right. Little Mermaid. Okay.
Probably.
And here's another clue. Only 2 on this list are original movies. The rest are all sequels or remakes. So not a
Okay.
lot of originality.
Right.
People love to go see something they're already familiar with.
Okay, some remakes are oh, Girls Trip 2.
Did you just say Girls Trip 2?
Yes.
Girls
Well, I know
Trip.
a lot of my mom's friends went to go see number 1.
Okay. Okay. Girls Trip 2 and 2 more movies. Just any guess.
Um,
I love that you said Girls Trip 2.
oh, Black Widow
Okay, Black Widow. That makes sense. That's an Avengers movie. Okay. And then finally,
and
Allie's last guess for the top 10
final.
highest grossing movies of all time.
Oh, Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia. All right. I like where your head is at. Mamma Mia. All right. Are you ready to go? Let's see how many
Yep.
how many of these match. First of all, let's start with Barbie. Barbie was number 14. It did not make top 10. I know, but I'm going to give that to you anyway.
What?
I'm going to give it to you anyway.
Oh, thank
So
you.
yes. You said, okay, I'm going to start with okay, so number 11 was Fast and Furious number 7. That thing grossed $1.5 billion. So I'm going to give that to you too, because you said Fast and Furious. Okay. So that's good. But here is the actual top 10 list. Coming in at number 10 was The Avengers, the original Avengers, $1.5 billion.
Oh,
Number 9 was The Lion King, the remake of The Lion King from 2019. So I think that was maybe the live action one. Maybe.
yeah.
Okay. Number 8, Jurassic World. Did you see any of
I
the
didn't even
Jurassic
think
Park
of that.
movies?
No, I haven't, but I'm pretty familiar with them. I should have said that.
Right. The original movies were good. Jurassic World. I'm not sure I was into that one. All right. Number 7, Spider-Man, No Way Home. That was the number 7 movie. Number 6, all time, just over $2 billion, Avengers Infinity War.
Oh my gosh, that's the one right before Endgame.
There's so many of them. Yes, that's right. Coming in at number 5, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens.
Oh, yeah, my grandma loved that.
Yeah, but that was the one. Okay, so that was number 5. Number 4, this happened before you were born. Titanic. Did you ever see Titanic?
Oh, I love Titanic so much.
That was 1997. And that was $2.2 billion they made worldwide, which is silly. Here we go. The number 3 movie of all time, Avatar, The Way of Water. So the sequel.
I love The Way of Water.
That's right. The Way of Water. Number 2, you said this one, Avengers Endgame. And then the number 1 highest grossing movie of all time, Allie, is Avatar. Which, crossing your fingers, which happens to be your favorite movie. So Black Panther did not make the list, but Avengers did. Let's see. Black Widow, no. I tell you, nowhere near the top 10 were Don't Worry, Darling. Girls Trip 2. I'm going to have to go back and see how much that movie made. Or Mamma Mia. But you had some good movies on there. And The Little Mermaid. Did you see The Little Mermaid?
I did not see the newest one.
I didn't either. And apparently nobody else did because it didn't make the top 10. Think about how much money that is. That's billions of dollars going to watch grown men shoot at invisible things in front of a green screen. It's pretty great. We live in a great world, don't we? Allie, thank you for coming on Podfulness. I hope this was fun for you.
Yep, I really enjoyed it.
Great. It was really great getting to know you. And for all of you watching or listening out there, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Podfulness. If you want to watch the show, you can watch on YouTube. Again, just search for Podfulness, and that'll do it for this episode. But we will have a new episode for you next week. So thank you very much for watching
Podfulness.